Hi, I'm Anthony Originello, CEO of the Chartered Professionals in Human Resources for BC and Yukon. We represent more than 8,000 members, and as the organization dedicated to advancing the HR profession through education, advocacy, awareness, professional development, as well as our recognized and impactful CPHR designation, we are proud to be a sponsor of this show. We have been the voice of the HR profession since 1942. Learn more about us at cphrbc.ca.
In this edition of Careers That Matter, I'm joined by Consul General de France, Nicolas Baudouin. Nicolas, welcome to Careers That Matter.
Thank you, Stuart, for having me. Happy to be here.
You know, I think that if you were to ask the average person, what is a Consul General, they would go, I don't know, representative of the government of another country. But that's just a part of it, isn't it? What does your job entail?
As you said, I'm a diplomat, so I joined the French Foreign Diplomatic Service almost 20 years ago, a bit more than 20 years ago. And so my job here is to, under the guidance of the French ambassador in Ottawa, to represent France, promote our economic, scientific, cultural interest, and see how we can build partnerships with Western Canada institutions and organizations. And of course, as a Consul General, we have a also very important mission, which is to take care of our nationals and provide them with the consular services that they are entitled to.
So what does a day look like for you?
A day looks like, for instance, you have a meeting with your team. We're 14 in our consulate to discuss, for instance, the organization of the upcoming parliamentarian election in France, because we have to be able to provide that sort of service to our nationals.
So that they can come in and vote? They
can come in and vote at polling stations that we are organizing in Canada and in Western Canada. Then you can have a lunch with an academic from UBC to talk about our partnerships on quantum science. Then in the afternoon, you may have to meet a French company who wants to establish or invest in BC, and to sort of share with this company your understanding of what the situation here is, what are the good contacts and the good resources that they can use. And maybe in the evening, if you still have some energy left, you can go to a concert featuring French artists visiting Vancouver, or go and watch a French movie during the Vancouver International Film Festival. And so that's a
that's on one day, and I know that I've met you at events where you are hosting French companies that are coming in to meet at a meet and greet or a variety of other things. And when you talk about that day, that one day, you're talking quite a number of hours. So generally, how many hours a day are you working?
I mean, hopefully and fortunately, all those days are not like that. I mean, it depends also whether you have also visitors, but on average, it's 8 or 9 hours a day, and then, I mean, when you love and when you like what you're doing, you don't have that sort of feeling that it's tiring, because the interesting and what I love in my job, especially here in Vancouver, is the variety of interactions and people that I'm able to connect with, and so that's really, really valuable, and that makes my job and my day very very rewarding.
So much of that work is outward facing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to do inward facing? As Consul General, are you also I guess, in charge of the running of the consulate.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're the business or property manager or HR, everything that falls under your control.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. So you're the head of a team, and as such, you are making sure that everybody is happy to be there, to come to the office, and happy to work together to deliver on those different missions that we are providing. So that's that's a critical, an essential part of the job, because if you have problem at home, so to speak, then it's more challenging to perform well.
So it's quite a diverse skill set that you have. You have your diplomatic mission. You have your, I'm running a trade mission. Scientific, and then of course the business. So you have to have quite a diverse set of skills. When you left, your I guess primary or secondary education before you went to university, did you already know that this was the life that you wanted, or did you have other aspirations?
I think, you can't really, unless you're yourself a son or a daughter of a diplomat yourself, where you get that sort of exposure, you don't really know until you've experienced it, as in your postings, for instance. So there's a lot of on-the-job training, and that's what makes it also fulfilling as an individual, because you start as a junior officer, you go to a postings where you learn a specific set of skills, you get mentors, and then you're more or less able to replicate that sort of experiences. So, and then of course, to your point, I think education plays also an important role in terms of giving you the right mindset, I would say.
So what did you study? When you went for your post-secondary education, what did you study?
I studied political science, so that's, a bit of law, a bit of economics, a bit of international relations, sociology, and I studied Mandarin Chinese. Because I grew up in a suburb near Paris, where I'm getting a bit more personal, but a lot of my peers, fellow students, were actually children of both peoples, refugees coming from Southeast Asia in the 70s, early 80s. So we got in the same classroom, and a lot of them were had Chinese heritage. So in that high school I was going to, there was a Chinese class offered. And so I took that to discover. And then I said, okay, that's interesting. And you get exposed. And some of the stories probably touched me as well, which is one of the reasons why I applied for a job in Cambodia later in my career. So again, a job which not always know where it's going to get you, but you have some control over it, and you can apply for jobs in an area or in a country which is of interest, which was my case.
When you graduated from university, did you then go to the diplomatic service, or did you have other stops along the way?
Yeah, you usually want to make sure first that it's the right career path. So you have to do a bit of internships, living abroad, make sure that you're sort of compatible with that lifestyle, which is quite specific. So I went to Taiwan first for an internship. Then I did like a contract officer job in Vietnam after I graduated at the French Embassy in Hanoi, which really sort of gave me the exposure and the understanding about what it would entail to join the diplomatic service. And then I took the exam and passed.
And where did you get posted?
So I started in Paris. Usually all diplomats, they start in HQ, in Ottawa, in Paris, London, DC, wherever, so that you can sort of learn a set of skills that you're going to use throughout your career. Writing in the proper format, getting a bit of a political mindset as well. And then I was posted to Taiwan for 3 years because I was sort of within that field of China, Greater China studies.
And this is where some of your language skills sort of come into play.
Exactly, exactly. So as a way not only to engage with stakeholders, but also to make your life there more interesting, more meaningful. And when you start to learn a language, I think it's the case for everyone. You not only learn the language, but you also learn the culture, the history. And so that is a very important background, because I hope, in my case, it helped me connect or relate to the people I was supposed to work with in a different way. Mm-hmm. So I think that's an important set of skills also that comes with learning a language.
So from Taiwan, where'd you go?
So then Cambodia for 4 years. Very interesting, also different experience. Of course, then I already had a wife. My first daughter was born. My second daughter was born in Cambodia.
Wow.
And then, so you leave Paris. Maybe you are single, or you only have a wife or husband. Then 3, 4, 7 years in our case, we came back to Paris. We were 4, and then when we came to Vancouver, that was no longer a personal experience. It was a family choice. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And now you're going back to Paris.
And now I'm going back to Paris. I'm a bit sad, of course, to leave Vancouver, because it has been 4 fantastic years, work-wise and family-wise. Great years, great people, great connections. But that's part of the job. Every 3-4 years you have to rotate, and in our case we're going back to Paris because that's the best option for us and for me at that time of my career.
And for your family.
And for my family as well.
So if a young person is looking at this interview right now and they go, that sounds like a really good career, what would you say would be a personality trait or two that you've learned, that you possess, that were important for you to be able to be successful in your career?
Good question. I'll mention a few. I think empathy, definitely need that, and to be able to put yourself in, I don't know if that's the right way to say it in English, but put yourself in someone else's shoes. Because you have to be able to understand what the people you are trying to convince to do business with you or to work with you. You have to make sure that you understand where it's coming from. And so that's something that you can be born with, or that you can learn to get. So I think also something very, very important. relatable, easy to access, because the range of people you are dealing with or working with is very, very large, very wide. So you can't be picky. You have to work with everybody, because you never know, at some point that person, maybe he or she will go to France to study, and then she will become more interested in France. She may be coming back to Vancouver and set up a business, and then she will be part of a network that your job is to be connected to.
Yeah, fascinating career. Absolutely fascinating career. Thanks for giving us a little glimpse into your career and your career path.
Thank you, Stuart, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.